consistent and persistent in making dua to Allah. Never ever give up in the mercy of Allah. La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Never ever give up in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna rahmatallahi qareebun min al-muhsinin. The rahmah of Allah, it is very, very close to the good doers them. Keep calling out to Allah. Don't give up, subhanallah. Don't give up. Never ever give up in the answer of Allah. Wallahi, Allah the answer with dua them. Some it the answer na dunya, and some it the keep on for yawmul qiyamah. Allah they choose not for answer you dua na dunya at all. Yawmul qiyamah, Allah they show you the gifts where He package for you based on the duas the way you make. Then say the slave way they see the package of the duas the way you make na dunya. Where Allah no answer, Allah show and say this na the duas the way we make. Where are no answer for you na dunya. I keep on for you for this day. The slave they tell Allah, he say, Ya Allah, I be wish you not be answer any of me duas them na dunya. Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His affairs them. Keep calling out to Allah, and for among the days and for make dua tomorrow, Yawmul Arafah. Ensure that you make lot of dua. Biiznillahi ta'ala. Cry out to Allah. We all get we need. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In no need waiting we need. Allah will solve all the problems them. May Allah ease your affairs them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for answer with du'as them. May Allah grant you tranquility when it comes to dua by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let Allah not make you for among the one them when they become worry, when they yaba, when it comes to dua. You need for relax and wait on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you call out to Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer with du'as them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive mistakes them. May Allah spare we for be for among the one them where they witness Yawmul Arafah, inshallah tomorrow by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For those where they na Hajj, then they go na the plain of Arafah, then they turn up there and make dua. For those of us where they off Hajj, bi-iznillah, we also can join in that spiritual beauty by also making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah forgive mistakes them. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه كان غفارا. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Hope and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala go expunge, He go delete to sins them completely. Astaghfirullah. الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for in countless favors and blessings upon we. We send peace and blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in family and in companions them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bless them all. My beloved brothers and sisters, the day of Arafah is an important day. Why is so important? Subhanallah. Now because it was on Arafah. We are in the Prophet alayhi salam day when Allah sent the package where can ascertain the completion of this deen by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where did we get this information? It is narrated that one day a Jewish man, a non-Muslim, he came to Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu. He was the Amirul Mu'minin at that time. And this Jewish man, he came to the Amirul Mu'minin and he said, Ya Amir, he said, there is a verse in una book, meaning the Quran. That verse there where Allah sent to una. If in a to we, that verse there be candle, we for choose the day where that verse there candle as a day of Eid. Meaning for make them a day of festival, a special day where we for celebrate. And Amirul Mu'minin, radiyallahu an, Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiyallahu an, he asked this Jewish man, he said, now whose verse that one day? And the Jewish man say, now the verse where a show na say, una din don't complete. And Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiyallahu an, he say, indeed, I remember exactly when this verse candle and who said the Prophet alayhi salam be there where he candle. He said this verse candle at the time where the Prophet alayhi salam be there on Arafah and on a Friday. Now in this verse here candle. Which verse is this? Now the verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-islam dina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this day, akmaltu lakum dinakum. I don't complete for una deen. Wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. I don't complete me favor upon una. Wa raditu lakum al-islam dina. And I don't please for choose Islam as una deen. This verse came down on the day of Arafah by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That tells you how special Yawmul Arafah is in real life by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at how beautiful this incident happened. This na a non-Muslim, na income to a Muslim. He said this verse, if not to we be kando, we for choose that day as Eid. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Why can't we be happy for a day like this coming towards us and we are still alive? We need to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. For the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon we, that Allah favor we then kind of exceptional favors they are. And Allah bestow in mercy upon we in this unique and peculiar way. فَبِذَلِكَ. For that reason, فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. We need to be happy by sitting here in the house of Allah and hearing this reminder that in and of itself need to make you happy. And you need to look forward for see tomorrow by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for make you grateful. This day is so beautiful. This place is so also beautiful that it is narrated by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on the reference in the Quran. In Surah Al-A'raf, when a surah number 7 inside the Quran, wherein Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made mention, say, He take out all the offsprings of Adam alayhi salam. We all. Allah bring we all out. How it happened, I don't know, you don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. And Allah record them in the Quran. He take out all the offsprings from the first to the last, subhanallah. He bring the souls them out. And this gathering, according to narration, happened on the plain of Arafah. Allah gather all the souls them. And then He asked them one question. Alastum bi rabbikum? Not to me now, Rabb. Qalu bala shahidna. We all be a witness, say, Ya Allah, we be a witness, say, you, now we Lord. We mean say, when we come na dunya, now you one with the worship. Subhanallah. And this agreement took place on the plain of Arafah by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even before we come na dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect we. Not everything will remember how we there inside the womb, what happened, we're not able to tell, subhanallah. But to believe so we there inside mama the womb. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen we. This also take place on Arafah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting guidance. My beloved brothers and sisters, for among the wisdom how they benefit on this day when Yawmul Arafah, especially for us, we know they're in Hajj, we need to ensure that we engage in fasting. Engage in fasting tomorrow. Make the intention now. By the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for fast tomorrow. Why? Now because the Prophet alayhi salatu salam say, fasting on the day of Arafah, you stand a chance, meaning a hope, that the person who fast for the sake of Allah, he will get 2 years of sins deleted from him completely. 1 year previous, 1 year upcoming. That not means say if you add the mercury. For example, somebody, shaitan go say, where you now? You get 1 year up front, now for add the money per mercury. Sin more. Subhanallah. This is shaitan. Ash-shaitan ya'idukum al-faqr wa ya'murukum bil-fahsha. This gift of Allah, we not for taken for granted by increasing in sin, but rather for increase upon goodness. Subhanallah. So make the intention now for fast tomorrow. 1 day fasting, you stand a chance for let Allah delete 2 years sins away from you. So do myself. If I do it for the sake of Huda, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you know why we make the intention now? Now because we don't know what in the next millisecond they bring come. Not second, millisecond, we don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in Surah Luqman, He said, Inna Allah indahu ilmu sa'a wa yunazzilu ghaytha wa ya'lamu ma fil arham wa ma tadri nafsum madha taqsibu ghada wa ma tadri nafsum bi ayyi ardi tamut. No life, no. Waiting the next millisecond, they bring come. The next millisecond, he can change my name From brother so and so, you can change your name from so and so. Then begin say the body. Let them bring the body. Let them dress the body. Subhanallah. Let them wash the body. Let them pray the body. Let them go left the body. They not even call your name again. That is why the intention is important. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, "Innamal a'malu biniyat." Actions are rewarded based on their underlying intention. Make a good intention. That is the foundation when it comes to spiritual construction. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make spiritual construction be a means of us attaining the salvation of Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, make the intention now for fast tomorrow for the sake of Allah. As a sister, if you have an excuse, a shari excuse, meaning this day meet you, you know you will pray based on the monthly excuse, or you day under postnatal bleeding, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you are sick extremely and you cannot fast, you still have a chance. Make dua to Allah. You can praise Allah. You can say Subhanallah, Walhamdulillah, Wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. You can say this again and again. You can say the best dua. You can make dua to Allah. You can prepare iftar and suhoor for the one day where they fast. It's a means of you attaining the reward. Don't just sit back say, hey, I not get prayer. Because you not get prayer, subhanallah, you not do anything. Tomorrow is very much important. Even if you not get prayer, bi-iznillah, you can still take part in other activities them. By the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when it comes to goodness, we ask Allah for strengthening we, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making we charitable. Tomorrow, reach out. Do more charity. Reach out to the needy and the poor by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Reach out to your family. Reconcile with your family members them. Bi-iznillahi ta'ala. It's a day of goodness. Do boku good deed in preparation for the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seek forgiveness in Allah. We all don't commit sins. We all don't swim inside the sea of sin. Now waiting bad. Now for sink inside the sea of sin. So one way not for sink inside the sea of sin, now for ask Allah for forgiveness. Seek forgiveness in Allah. Allah na ghafurun rahim. Seek forgiveness in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna the most forgiving, the most merciful. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgive who mistakes them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for make tomorrow a day wherein we will benefit a lot when it comes to spirituality. For those who go Hajj, may Allah grant them Hajju Mabrur, an accepted Hajj by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are in, then go return back home in a similar way, just like the day where the mother be born them, according to the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them Hajju Mabrur. May Allah grant we the opportunity for go Hajj again and again by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah for bless who ustads them. May Allah bless who parents them. We ask Allah for have mercy upon those who don't pass away upon goodness. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for take we at the time we please with we. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for grant we the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah as final wordings before they left dunya by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah for reunite we in Jannatul Firdaus. We ask Allah for bless you business transactions them. May Allah grant you contentment with halal. May Allah protect you from haram no matter how fine or huge it is by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah for men we inner and we outer sicknesses them by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah for answer with du'as them. May Allah answer with good du'as them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer with du'as them. We ask Allah not for reject you because of sinful activities them. May Allah guide leaders them. May Allah guide them towards good policies them. May Allah protect them from bad policies them. We ask Allah for fructify this nation. May Allah grant we ease and peace in this nation by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah for grant we ease and peace by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whosoever is struggling in any shape or form, may Allah ease who affairs them. For those who are for married, may Allah grant to a blessed spouse them. For the one the way they married, may Allah not bless with picking them. May Allah bless you now with blessed picking them. We imam them, we mashayikh them. May Allah bless them. May Allah strengthen them. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for ease wa affairs them. Allahumma hdina fi man hadayt, wa afina fi man afayt, wa tawallana fi man tawallayt, wa barik lana fi ma a'tayt, wa qina wasrif anna sharra ma qadayt, innaka taqdi wa la yuqda alayk. يا رب العالمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمده نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا